The Good Ride, making mediocre matter one good setup at a time. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the review of the K2 Ender snowboard boot by The Good Ride. And I took this out today in a few days and rode it with a few different boards. I rode it with the K2 Formula and the K2 Broadcast. That was fun. I rode it with, today I rode it with the LibTech box knife and a Good Ride favorite binding, the Union Strata, and then took it out and rode it with a, another mellow board with a mellow binding, my Union Super Pro, which are kind of like Contact Pros. With just a different high back and the team ankle strap, and just really kind of wanted to get a feel of this. And then I also, not only that, but I compared it to my Adidas Tactical ADV, which is a really good comparison. And let me do this for you guys. I just kind of want to tell you what a great boot it's been, and it really fared well against the Tactical ADVs, which are some of my favorite boots. I mean, these things are old, broken in, but still have their original flex and really kick butt. So, I would say this is a very good comparison because they're very similar boots. They're kind of like traditional lace. These are full-on traditional lace. These are traditional lace with an inward adjustable boa that you see on the table review when it was deconstructed. And I have to say, I was really impressed as to how well these fared compared to other boots out there, especially compared to my Tactical ADVs. They did an amazing job. Sometimes their K2's bindings and boards are hit or miss, but their boots are really good. And just out of the box, day one, comfort was amazing. These are size 9s, and I've confirmed I'm definitely an 8.5. So they're a little roomy for me, and it's not a perfect comparison. And my Tactical ADVs are 8.5s, so those fit perfect. But in terms of response, they feel really good. I had some problems with this initially, but then after just adjusting it with the Velcro thing, that little plastic interior for the inside boa, I felt like it was just a little off, and it was causing pressure points. Then I adjusted it, pressure points were gone. So that's very cool that it's released. I thought it wouldn't matter to me, but I got that dialed in, and it has just a really nice, even flex throughout the boot. The shock absorption, nowhere close to the Adidas Tactical ADV, but that's other level shit. I really haven't found a boot even close yet that isn't using energy boost that's close. The only other comparable boot to that is the Adidas Xterra. However, shock absorption aside, just this comfort, I just couldn't believe the comfort day one, and the fit and the feel. It's got nice response. It feels like a touch less responsive than the Tactical ADV, but it feels like a boot that's just built to last and can hang in there for a while. I wonder how that plasticky, rubbery thing will do long term, but I love the combination of the boa and the speed lace. So the traditional lace. So if you like traditional lace and you like that feel, but you just want a little more heel hold, like a lot of boas provide, then you have this, and it works great. And I love the adjustability of traditional lace. I love the ankle articulation along with their, I believe they call it Indotech, and it just preserves the life of the boot and makes it work well. And trying it with all these different boards, it really blended well with almost every board I tried. So this is a very recommendable boot. It's just kind of like, it feels very medium-ish on the snow. And, the more you tighten it, the more response, but I couldn't believe, boot tests are very difficult, and I couldn't believe just how comfortable it was day one. and how easy it was to ride. The one thing I would say is I did not compare an 8.5, which would be my fit, to an 8.5 Adidas, which is very reduced in footprint. But I did compare a 2018 K2 Masis to my Adidas Tactical ADV, and there was almost like an inch difference in 8.5 versus 8.5, which both fit my boot, my foot, a 9, which is almost an E. It's like a D bordering on E in terms of width. It doesn't fit. They both fit. I mean, they both fit perfectly. They fit about the same. Very good fit. But I would just say that like the footprint is massively different, and I believe this to be the same here. So if you're on that border between, you know, like if you're 10.5 and you're trying to fit kind of like, you know, like a board that's like 25.5, you know, waist or something like that, you're gonna do much better fitting into a borderline board width with like Adidas or reduced footprint boots like Burton and 32 and others like that. But if you're looking for warmth and you don't care about footprint, then it's K2. And if you're looking for one thing I've noticed in terms of the fit with K2's boots is they feel very tight and narrow around the heel, the Achilles heel and the ankle, and then it widens out so where I can feel like a little bit of space at the widest point of my foot right here, but there's still just a touch of room there. So if maybe you're at 9E or you're an E, you can fit this. It's gonna fit okay, and it'll heat mold out a little bit. But it really locks in that back. And some of my friends who have like really like narrow heels and ankles and like Achilles tendons really love the like this boot because of that, because it really fits well in terms of you know, like wrapping around an ankle and reducing heel lift. So those are the real advantages. So you know, other than the footprint, this is a really good boot. Just can't, you know, it's definitely going to be on my recommendation list for people, and it's very doable, especially for me who's like an 8.5. It helps me actually fit certain bindings. I can get into mediums a little better with these boots on than I can with my tacticals, but I can carve harder with my tacticals, so I like that. But anyways, it's on my recommendation list. Great boot.